So there are a bunch of different ways to do main menus. I'm going to make a new scene. They're typically always their own scenes. I'm going to save it into my scenes folder as my menu scene. And we're going to do a really simple one that's basically just a picture that we hit a button and it starts the game. Like, I'm not going to give it a bunch of different options. We'll just have the title and that's it. So there's a lot of ways to do this. One of them is to create a 2D object and have a sprite that's just a big picture of whatever you've made. You can also create a UI. So under the Create menu, there's Create UI. And you could create an image. You could create text. Let's do an image. And this image over here, it acts as like a canvas. There's an image right there. It has a position, a width, a height, all these different dimensions. And then it has a scripting thing on it that's basically where's the source image and does it have a material. So you can give it a material if you want. And here's the color. So let's change the color of it. We don't have a source image. I'm just going to grab one. Let's just quickly make one in Photoshop. So you're gonna want to make one much more pretty than this. Let's see. Let's have like F to be our start. We'll just kind of center it. Please make it prettier than this. Give it a title, things like that. I'll save it as a JPEG to my desktop. You can have it animated. You can do some really cool things with it, but for this, I'm just going to go really simple. So I need to import that as an asset. So I'm just going to import that menu screen. It comes in as an image. You can tell it to be a sprite right here. So if I select it in my asset screen, just like how we had to tell something to be a normal map before, we can tell it to be a sprite. So I'll just do that for now. Hit apply. And then I can select my image over here and tell it, the source, to be that sprite. So I just drag and drop it. And now this huge canvas is my image. So whenever I hit play, I can see it. It's tiny. And it's not really filling the screen how it's supposed to. And it has this color applied to it. I'll leave that color as white. So it has a position within that and a size that we can see right here and we can edit. So it is acting as like an actual true 3D object in my scene. So terrible looking right now. But I can physically move it around. I can move the camera closer and further to it. I can blow it up way big. Or make it smaller. But basically you're just like almost slapping this onto a 3D plane and moving it around. I'm doing it in just about the least efficient way possible. Alright, so let's just say that that's good. It's not. You should do better. But let's just say that that's good for this. I'm going to write a script so I can create a new C# script, and I'll call it start script. I'll open that up with whatever editor you like to use. Nice. All right, so I'll get that open, in Atom. And let's add our library that we need to import. What was it? I can never remember this stuff. Let me just look it up. System management. Scene management. Scene manager. So we need to use Unity engine.scene management. And then what we'll do is we'll check for a key press. So let's also search Unity key press, which should be called key down, I think. Yeah, input.get key down. So we say if input.get key down, and then we put the name of the key. I think I can just put F, just a lowercase f. Then, remember our if-then statement. We're going to do scene, what is it, scene manager dot load scene. Whatever I called our first scene, which I think I called it first scene, yep. And we want to do it as not additive. We want to do the other mode, single. Load scene mode single. Or else it gets all crazy. So all this is saying is it's constantly checking if our player hits F, they hit that key, we're going to load the next scene, right? So let's close out of that, go back to our scene. I'm going to create a little empty game object. I'll just call it like scene starter. I like to work with empty game objects, and I'll drop that scene. And then the last thing I need to do, this is the thing that always goes wrong, is I need to go File, Build Settings. I need to add our open scene. So the first scene is going to be the menu. I'm going to just delete this one from here. And then I can go into my scenes folder, and I can actually drag and drop this. So we have menu and then first scene. So we have to have those in our build settings. Remember this? File, Build Settings. All right, let's hit play. All right, look at that. I lost my lighting, though. I don't know what's up with the... Oh, because I haven't actually built my lighting out. That's why. But it's really that simple. You just make a screen, you know, however you want to make it is fine. But you could do a 3D menu and just have floating text on the screen. You can do, you know, animated menu. You could do a video, whatever you want. You just incorporate it into this kind of canvas system, and then you just have a key that they press to start the scene. That's all I expect. I don't expect you to have, like, you know, arrows and menu options that you're cycling through. You can do that, but it's a little bit more complicated. I'm not going to get into it in this class. Any questions? Good?